So challenge number 2 is we've got to tell a story. Apparently can be any story at all. And to my friends who know me, I do like to preach and ramble a bit, so I'll try not to ramble too much. I guess I'll call this story The Ebbs and Flows of Life, and it's just a really small realization which I had a while ago, but it's been having more and more of an impact on me and basically how I look at my life. As I go through this journey of sort of self-actualization and maturity, sometimes I'm finding that there are a lot of lessons in the very nuanced, the very inconsequential, insignificant events in life, and a lot of them are ones which you have to sort of teach yourself or actually look for that lesson. Basically, this started off as an idea which was sort of which was seeded into my head, and I've just been feeding it with more and more energy, and this idea and this concept's been growing, and now it's become a fundamental part of my belief system. And what that idea is, we are in complete control of our own state. So your state being how you feel right now in this present moment. When I cast my mind back, and this might be something which can relate to you guys as well, is when I cast my mind back into say 3 weeks ago, and it's actually happened a lot this year, where one day I feel absolutely amazing. I'm walking through the city, the sun's shining, you know, like business is going fantastic, everything is just perfect. Still have a lot of work to do, but it just doesn't feel like I'm wearing the weight of adulthood, and yeah, it felt like I didn't have a care in the world, and I was just going through life with ease. Fast forward a few days, exact same sort of day in the city. I was walking through town, and I felt very anxious, extremely anxious, and it just felt like, my brain couldn't stop. It was just going, oh my God, I have this to do, I have that to do, oh, I've got this, then I've got to book this meeting, you know, push that meeting into the future, or where I need to call this person, oh, what am I planning tonight, you know, and so on. It just didn't stop. And as I was walking, and that's something where being mindful and aware of your emotions, emotional mastery, state control is really helpful, because as soon as I caught myself in that, it was funny to begin with, because I thought, from when I was feeling good to when I was feeling anxious, what had changed? I can tell you right now, when I looked at it objectively and basically tried to work out what had changed, the weather hadn't, it was still a beautiful day. The city hadn't, it was all still there. The amount of work actually hadn't changed, even though I felt more anxious. I still had a very similar workload. The amount of stuff I had on the outside, relationships, everything was constant. Now, just that little shift and that awareness allowed me to sort of start focusing on the better things, because the only thing which had changed was me internally, whichever one you want to point to, heart or head, that's what changed. The day where I felt great, what was I thinking about? Oh my God, this is such a beautiful day. The sky is so blue. This is amazing. Wow, I'm in a complete abundance. Life is amazing. When I was feeling bad, what was I focusing on? I have so much to do. Oh my God, this is out of control. This deadline is creeping up. This business has this backlog of work to do. And this brings me back to what I learned in UPW in Sydney, which is basically choose what to focus on. And I'm finding this lesson keeps creeping up in my life, and each time I'm making sure I learn from the previous time, and I'm consciously deciding what to focus on. Just like the time in Bali when I got fleeced, immediately didn't let it ruin our trip. And yeah, it's something so small, And the difference between feeling good and feeling bad is normally like a 1 degree shift. It's the smallest thing which changes, but it feels huge because it's all in our head. So yeah, that's a story about my journey, about dealing with the ebbs and flows of life, and how I'm finding that, look, things just go up and down. The more we're able to be flexible with it and embrace it, that's going to have a direct impact on how well we enjoy our lives. On that note, done.